Alright, so remember when I said I couldn't really figure out exactly what order I wanted to do the DLC zones in originally? Let's discuss where we're going today. So I was originally just going to do Shadow Altus first, because, you know, we're here now. But there's one more piece of unique dialogue we can get from Sir Ansbach if we tell him we found the Michaelis Cross down in Cerulean Coast. So we're just going to go do that first. However, we can't unlock the dungeon at the end of Cerulean Coast without first getting to Shadow Keep and getting that broken Greatrune message that I've mentioned a few times now. So, yeah, the order's just kind of weird, but let's just get the extra dialogue, and this episode will probably be a little shorter than usual, but that's alright. So, there are a few different ways that we could get here, but we need to ultimately go through this little poison swamp here. So, you can go either from Ruined Forge lava intake like we did the last time we went through that area. You could go back down the Spirit Spring from behind the Fort of Reprimand that we got to last time we went through that area. Or what I'm going to do is go through Castle Front. So let's go along this path to the east, and we're actually going to make our way down these cliffs here. You can see on the map to get down in this water here. And I'm only telling you about all these pathways just because, like I was saying, my original points in one of the other episodes about not really finding a super obvious, like, intended path through the DLC. You know, whenever you replay this in the future, whether you watch the guide or not, hopefully, you'll just, know about all these extra little pathways. So you can take whatever way your heart desires. Grab that Grave Glove Ward 5, kill that guy. It's a little hard to see, I apologize. But, really just making our way down these rocks here. And then at some point you see a corpse down there. Nice, dude. My life just is the best, really. Alright, we will try this again. Non-lethal attempt. There we go. Shadow Realm Rune 1. That is what I died for. No, I'm not happy about it. And just make your way all the way to the bottom. And you can enter this little cave next to the flowers here. Hop up here on this ledge, get a deep purple lily. And if you keep going, looks like the next cave here, next little room. Got a Revered Spirit Ash. And a Grace. Can't remember where we are at last episode. Maybe that's a level. Not quite. Alright, so yeah, while we're in the area, might as well clear out this river. So this is where we're at now. So to start with, let's just go north upstream a bit. And once we get, like, right under the bridge, an Ulcerated Tree Spirit's gonna spawn, so be ready for that. A Shadow Realm rune there as well. Another grab attempt. This guy doesn't like me very much. This might do more damage than the crit. Or not. Somehow the like cleanest shot we got on him was the least amount of damage. That's awesome. need some more FP. Grab number 3. Ow. Ow. 4, that's crazy, dude. Alright, down he goes. The fire really still went off. That guy just had it out for me. Well, you get the Horned Baron, which is kind of like the other Baron item we got in the game, I guess. You use some, just a reusable item you put on your hotbar, use some FP. This one summons some little things that look kind of like the Affinity Hex from Dark Souls 2. A classic. But if we go, sorry, just past that first pack of man-flies, there's a little crevice over here to the right. Some fly mold. And then just keep going north, and I'm gonna ignore everyone pretty much. Big pile of corpses right here with a silver horn tender. Keep going a little further and it'll open up a bit. And we're just gonna go behind this waterfall up ahead, behind the giant crab. Doesn't seem to have seen us, maybe. But we go inside here. You get the 2-headed turtle talisman. Very, very useful. Just an upgrade to the regular turtle talisman. What's it called? The green turtle talisman. Oh, I'm using it. Big upgrade. Alright, so yeah, once you go outside, just go out to the right, go southwest here. So you get to a cliff that looks something like this. Turn around, and up to the left, there is a pot hanging from the wall. Shackle it down, get the Mushroom Seller's Bell bearing 1, and then we'll backtrack a bit and just hug this left side, and there should be a cave entrance. Rivermouth Cave, grab the Grace. You are definitely at risk of getting bled in the next area, so if there's any preparations you want to make for that, go ahead, but I'm feeling confident and stupid right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and run in here. Take out the wolves, get some hefty beast bones, keep going in a little further. Up to the right in this next room, got a couple more wolves. Sliver of meat, and then we'll go down. I really wish there's a couple places in the game where you can like see light poking through in the ceiling of a cave. I really wish that you could like find those holes up in the like on the surface, but I mean that would be underground or underwater basically from what I'm seeing right now. And here we should get attacked by a couple more wolves. And in here, the floor will collapse. And this really could not look more like an illusory wall if it was trying to, especially like with this blood river coming out of it, but it's not, surprisingly. It's absolutely nothing. So I guess we'll go down. We're gonna get to this absolute nightmare room. Before we deal with that, let's go up to the right. Just one blood fiend to worry about right here. And then up here, you don't really need to go this way. This just gets us back to that room where the wolves drop down to attack us. I think there's like one item in here. Sacred Bloody Flesh, which I guess worth grabbing, kind of a cool item. Consumable, boosts your physical attack power and arcane, and attack power will be boosted further when blood loss occurs, so definitely geared towards people with bleed builds, but yeah, like I said, this will just get you all the way back to where we were. I don't know. Oh, okay, I guess we fell down, so we're going this way now. I was gonna say, I don't know which way is faster, but... So yeah, in the room up ahead, there are just a ton of blood fiends. There's an item there on the altar behind them. The one that's like, has a weapon sticking up right there will cast like a blood mist fog thing. You see down below us, there's some Sanguine Amaryllis you can pick up. And then that cave straight ahead back there to the southeast, excuse me, is the boss. So if you want to, you can just rush that. Oh my god, there's something stuck in my throat, but there's a Stake America right outside of it, so if you die to the boss, you don't have to, like, clear this room again. I'm probably gonna clear it, because, I don't know. Just, like, war, I guess. There's also items around the corner to my left I forgot to mention. I kind of feel like, off the top of my head, it's more Sanguine Amaryllis. I was right. I love Wing Stance. It's incredible. No, Wing Stance sucks, dude. Wonder how you guys feel about fire. You don't really seem to care all that much. Duly noted. There's that caster. Alright. Everyone is dead. Did you guys have fun? I had fun. Absolutely don't need to exterminate all of them like that, but get some more Sacred Bloody Flesh. And now for the boss, which is just going to be a bigger one of them. So, I guess this room is good practice. Nice warm-up. Pulling out the Blood Flame Talon. Insane, but I respect it. I can't roll behind him, he's too big. It was too slow for the crit. Alright, dude, relax with that. Down he goes. Really just a nice wing stance versus every blood fiend in the game. That's what that was. But let's return to, well, actually you can warp back to Ellac River Cave. We're done here, but I'm gonna return the entrance and show you just one cool thing. If you go outside and over to the left near that waterfall that we got the talisman from, there's all these stepping stone, gravestone things pointing out of the cliff. We're actually like right below Templetown ruins on the map, so this is a way that you could get down here if you didn't want to go through like that whole, you know, going down these cliffs, going through the cave, coming out here by the Ellac River Cave Grace. You could get to it from Templetown ruins all the way over here if you just jump down from the cliff. Obviously, we'll have no need for doing that now in the walkthrough since we've cleared all of this, but it's just a cool route I wanted to point out for future reference, even if you don't use it right now. But anyway, yeah, back to Ellac River Cave, and this time we'll go outside to the left and follow the river downstream. So carefully jump along these rocks here till you get to this item, which is giving me a hard time. Alright, we'll get off the horse. Have it your way. Might get back on the horse. There we go. Greater Potentate's Cookbook 12. And then just keep going. A bunch of grave birds up here. Go around that waterfall. And I'm just going to run through them. Where we're going, they shouldn't be able to follow us. Grab this item on the way. A couple of somber, or just one somber smithing stone. Ow. And then before this next waterfall on the left, just wherever it's safe to do so, drop down into the water. And then we'll go back upstream a little bit. You should find a lobster. Down it goes. That should drop a bunch of smithing stones and some white flesh. Get a smithing stone 7, 3 smithing stone 8s, and then grab that somber smithing stone 6 there, and then we'll go back down the river again. And heal up, because I think this one hurts you if you drop down. I guess you don't have to drop down. You can come over here if you're a baby. Or take a little fall damage. Then, yeah, straight ahead. Don't know how I lost track of that item. Thin beast bones. And right around the corner we got a grace. Alright, so keep going south. Down these rocks, and then whenever you can, we're going to jump over to that big sideways one to the left. And if you notice, there's another hanging pot to our left, so shackle, get that down. And then we'll make our way down here on the right to get down to the water and pick up the item that just dropped. Which is the Mushroom Seller's Bell Bearing 2. And make sure you're stopping back at Round Table Hold and dropping off these bell bearings. I'm really bad about reminding you to do it because I'm really bad about remembering to do it myself. I feel like when you full clear the game, there's not like as much need usually to go buy items from the merchant, just because if you loot everything, you have so much already. But still nice to have. So run over here to the left, Forager Brewed Cookbook 3, get some yellow fulgur bloom. He's there on the map that we don't have yet. And then if you keep going south from here, there should be a little pond up ahead. Some yellow fulgur bloom and a corpse in the middle with the lightning perfume bottle. And then just keep going pretty much straight southwest past the furnace golem. This is one of the coolest reveals in the entire game, I feel like. Crest this hill to find the Cerulean coast. Such a cool looking area. But grab the Cerulean Coast Grace, and then once you have this, a nice place to respawn if this next part goes bad. Let's cook up a hefty furnace pot and go kill the furnace golem. Swap this for that real quick, and that for this. Okay, here comes that like volcano eruption kind of attack I mentioned with the first one, but the first one we encountered didn't use it, so if he starts doing this, just run around in circles until all these go away. As you can see, they home in on you, so it's like he's going for two. Yeah, if you just like jump off and start going to town on his legs, then these are all gonna kind of ruin your day. There we go. There we got a stance break. Is that two in a row? Why did that one work so well? There we go, that is three. I forgot to equip the pot, I'm stupid. These guys lay down for a really long time, though we should be fine. Down the hatch. Still alive. And he's dead. And you should get the Veridian hidden tier, and of course a furnace visage, and then I'll just warp back to Cerulean Coast. Now then, we are blind, so first order of business is to get the map here. From the Grace, literally just go straight south to that hill in the distance. There's probably going to be a Ghostflame dragon that bothers us down here, so be ready for that. But we'll ignore him for the time being. That's weird. His boss fight didn't even activate. Just too quick. I got the battle pass, so my torrent is 10% faster than yours. But you get the southern shore map, and that's where we're at. And then just up here to the southeast actually, should find another cross, and a grace, and a Scadutree Fragment, and all is well in the world. There's the fragments. Touch the grace and get the, touch the cross and get the grace. And that grace in particular, Sir Ansbach is interested in, so let's warp back to Main Gate Cross and tell him about it. Speak of the cross at the coasts. Now that is the third cross we've informed him about. We also told him about the one in the tower right next to him here in Bellarat, and the one at the Shadowview cross over by Fort of Reprimands, and then of course now the one down here at Cerulean Coast. So after you tell him about any two of those, you'll get the important dialogue about why Mikola is here, or him theorizing about it. That's the important lore dialogue, but we've already heard that. We heard that last episode. But he does have unique dialogue for all three of those specific crosses, so I wanted to show that. And with that, you should be safe to get close to Shadowkeep and trigger the broken Greatrune message, with potentially one exception, so hear me out real quick before you do that. As a reminder, breaking the Greatrune by crossing this threshold here, roughly right in front of Shadowkeep, or over here, kind of right at the tree line past Bonnie Village, which is right here. That's going to progress the quest lines of Sir Ansbach, Moore, Tiolier, Ornsent, Needle Knight Letta, and Redmane Freya. All of them. So the only thing you'll ultimately be missing out on by doing that too early is dialogue with those characters, with one exception. You want to make sure that you get Forager Cookbook, or Forager Brood Cookbook 4 right here next to the Church of the Crusade in Shadow Altus. That's the one we got last time. We have to drop the Warming Stone next to the Pest and then reload the game to get it from him. And then you want to return to Moore to get the Forager Brood Cookbook 7 as a reward for helping him. That is a missable item, which is a little bit different than missable dialogue. Now, even though you're technically safe to progress to the broken Greatrune now, I'm still going to hold off on doing so, and you might want to as well, because of Moore right here. So Moore will get really sad when the Greatrune breaks, and you're going to have a couple dialogue options that open up with him in regards to that issue, which I will explain right now. But the important thing to know is any choice you make that results in him doing anything but sitting right here like normal in his normal location will lock you out of getting any more Forager Brood cookbooks. So I'll explain all this again when we get to it in the walkthrough, but figured I'd mention it now too to potentially save you some trouble. So when he gets really sad, you can tell him to put it behind him, which will cause him to move on, and you'll be locked out of any remaining Forager Brood cookbooks or Black Syrup for Tiolier if you haven't gotten that yet. We did in the walkthrough, like in the first episode, so you should be fine there. You can tell him to remain sad forever, which will result in him dying, which also locks you out of any more Forager Brood cookbooks and Black Syrup. And lastly, you can just say, I don't know, and nothing will happen. He'll stay where he is right here until you pick one of those other two options I just mentioned. So, long story short, like I just said, unless Moore is alive and right here in his original location, you won't be able to get any more Forager Brood cookbooks. So essentially what I'm getting at here is try to collect all 7 of those cookbooks before you trigger the broken Greatrune outside Shadowkeep to be absolutely safe. Or if you do trigger it, either just avoid Moore entirely, or just tell him you don't know. Pick the I don't know option until you collect the rest of the cookbooks so that he stays right here. Technically, Cookbook 6 is placed slightly after the Greatrune breaks. It's over After you cross these bridges past Bonnie Village, Greatrune's going to break around here, and then just up the road, right around here, I believe, is the... or maybe over here even. I think over here, actually. But yeah, up on this plateau, close to Shadowkeep, is where Cookbook 6 is, so you will have to break the Greatrune, but either way, my point here is just ignore more until you get all of them. That's the important thing, right? So if you're on your first playthrough, this is what I'm about to say isn't going to mean anything to you, but for anyone else that has gone through the DLC once, you just need to give more an answer at some point, like choose an option that's not, I don't know, before you go and burn the Sealing Tree, which is an event that happens way, way later in the DLC. If you don't, and you just leave him alone at his original location here, he'll stay here forever, and he's not going to appear again later in the DLC, and you won't be able to, like, get his final rewards, so... That is, I think, all I needed to say about our friend Moore here. So now on to Cerulean Coast. So go back to, not Cerulean Coast actually, Cerulean Coast Cross. Let me double check and make sure my recording is still good. Something on my screen flickered and I didn't like it. I think we're good. Where are we? Yeah, Cerulean Coast Cross, we're good. So from here, let's go north, northwest, jump up here. It's gonna be one of those weird little lightning orb things. A couple of them, actually. Try not to get killed. We'll jump on the stone structure here, ow. Get a Grave Glovewort 9, and then run to the other end of it. Drop down, keep going this way until you can drop off the cliff onto another stone structure. Get a great Grave Glovewort, and then warp back to Cerulean Coast Cross. And we'll just go the same way back to that first one we hopped on. Alright, and then jump across here. As Withered Tree, there's going to be Cemetery Shade patrolling up there, so watch out for that. Get St. Trina Disciples Cookbook 1, and then keep going this way a little further. It's going to be another stone structure. Stone coffin, actually. These are stone coffins. That would make way more sense. I just had a whole epiphany just then. That would make way more sense if you have played through this area before already. You know what I'm talking about. If not, it'll make sense in time. But anyway, grab that item on it, and then we're going to go down here to the beach and go left. Not fight the hands, because we don't like that. And pretty much as soon as you get across the sandbar here and you see the yellow flower, blue flowers on your left, we'll jump up to the left. Watch out for the hands buried in the sand there too. Get some smithing stone 2s, incredible. Another hand there, watch out. And then just go all the way to the east end of the beach, basically. More hands. Shadow Realm Rune 2, and then we'll backtrack a bit to the nearest giant stone coffin. Grab the Grave Glovewort 9, and then up here to the right just a little bit, you can find the Finger Ruins of Rhea Grace, and activate it. And we'll be back to this area later for a quest line, but there's one like random little section of Cerulean coast that you can only access from over here. It's kind of strange, but we'll go do that. So go down this hill, and then that ridge straight ahead of us, we see the trees up ahead. There's a duplication coffin up there, which works just like a wandering mausoleum from the base game. You can duplicate boss remembrances there. I know for a fact that the next one we encounter, I will actually stop and talk about it properly. There's something in my notes about it, but I just remembered that that one was right there, so thought I would mention it in case you wanted that. But anyway, as soon as you get to the bottom of that hill, just turn hard left and basically go straight west. There's a big archway, land bridge kind of thing up ahead you can see. A little easier to see when it's not rainy and foggy, but we will just continue along this path, running past everything until we get to the item we need. So you get the Finger Weaver's Cookbook 1, you can speak to the spirit here if you want, and aside from a couple bears over there in the woods, that's all that's down here. So you can just warp back to Cerulean Coast Cross. And we will follow this bend around to the west and then south. I wish this place wasn't so empty, because it is just absolutely beautiful. We'll loot the corpse here in the road for some white flesh mushrooms and avoid the giant pots from the troll up ahead. Literally one lightning bolt hit him, that's crazy. Down he goes. And I also don't need these anymore, so we'll throw back on what I had before. Rolana's cameo, there we go. But yeah, killed the troll for a Hefty Cracked Pot. Fun way to get Hefty Cracked Pots, and by fun I mean it's better than going down into those hellish frozen caves and fighting the jar insides. Brave Glove Wart 8. And then we'll go up here, just follow these cliffs on the left. Should eventually find an item towards the top of the cliff. There you are, St. Trina Disciples Cookbook 2. And then nearby there's a giant hole in the ground. A fissure, if you will. Intrusive thoughts. Nice. Okay. Keep going. Over here on the other side of it, there should be a spot that you can safely start making your way down. Almost died immediately. And about halfway down here, got a Shadow Realm rune. Almost all the way at the bottom, some deep purple lilies. And the Fissure Grace. So, the path forward here will be blocked until we approach Shadowkeep and the Greatrune breaks, as I was alluding to earlier. You can see if we try to interact with it. Sealed and obscured by Mikola. But yeah, at least we can get the Grace so we don't have to climb down here again next time. So warp back to Cerulean Coast Cross. And we're going to work our way back north and we'll fight that Ghostflame dragon from earlier. So throw on some holy damage if you can. I'm going to swap Wing Stance for Sacred Blade here temporarily. Actually, no, I'll just keep it on that. That works. Throw on the Golden Epitaph though. Bat rolling, unfortunate. There we go, fixed it. What if we just swap for the Sacred Scorpion Charm? Just really annihilate this thing. Wait a second. I missed an item. Up here to the northwest, before you go down that hill. Climb this coffin for another item. There we go. Grave Glovewort 9. The closest island should have some something on it. I don't remember. A corpse. There you are. I think the next one has one too, but probably want to deal with the dragon first. At some point, this one in particular is going to roar and summon some skeletons. You can deal with the skeletons if you want, which should be pretty easy with some holy damage on. But you could also just lure the dragon away from them, honestly. Since it can move a lot faster. Smithing Stone 7 there. That is probably summon. Nope, it was not summoning skeletons. It was summoning the fire in his belly. I had a feeling. That one's definitely summoning skeletons. Down he goes. Get a Dragon Heart, Somber Ancient Dragon, Smithing Stone. So many of them. Oh, that didn't kill you. Alright, and with that, don't need that anymore. Throw back on Hand of Melania just in case I want it. Actually might later, to be honest. There you are. So we grab these Smithing Stone 7s. Also have some Human Bone Shards. Brave Crickets, and I feel like there was something over here, maybe? Maybe misremembering. Maybe it was just that one island with the dragon on it. Anyway, from here, we will go, here's where we are. Go up to this next stone coffin here. Grave Glovewort 9. Keep going northwest a little bit more to get to the next one. Any guesses what this might be? That's right. Another Grave Glovewort 9. Alright, so then down here we'll go west and take out Wandering Cemetery Shade there. Be careful, you don't need to deal with that though if you don't want to. Take out a couple Grave Birds. Grave Glovewort 7 there. One more. And we'll go south. Spirit Gravestone. Try to bait that thing if you can. We're standing in water, so these guys can like really mess you up right here. Lost Ashes of War, and then if you look down here, there's another Cemetery Shade by the tree. Okay, not sneaking up on him. That was too close. Down he goes, loot the tree for a Gravekeeper's Cookbook 1. And then same thing here, try to bait the orb maybe. We'll clear these guys out. Shadow Realm Rune 1, or sorry 3, and some string. And then, see these two stone coffins here? The one on the right, we need to like go through a cave. The one on the right, we need to go through a cave to get on top of. So for now, just ignore it. Go to the left one. And we will be back for this path here to the northeast in a second. But climb up here. Grave Glovewort's 8. And then before we tackle that path, go down here and there's a grace for us. And up here in the trees nearby, Grave Glovewort's 2. I should actually rest up here. Alright, now we'll go for that path between the two coffins. And you'll notice you can summon, and up ahead there is a demi-human swordmaster who we've seen one before and it was a boss. Down in Ellac jail, I believe. So you can sneak up on him and get a nice big hit to start the fight if you want. Or 2, maybe even 3 if you're feeling feisty. The Starlight Shard from him, and then we'll go, not before grabbing that, Smithing Stone 6s. Go east to the end of this clearing over here. There's going to be a bunch of demi-humans scattered around here. I'm just going to ignore them personally. But grab the Spirit Sword there and then backtrack to where we fought that guy just now. And we'll go down this pathway to the right instead this time. And up ahead here on the right should find a cave. Demi-human chief inside, guarding a Scadutree Fragment. Grab that and get out of here. And then we'll just go northwest pretty much as far as we can until we get to a beach. And there's going to be potentially a massive war between you and the demi-human army. So you can either clear these guys out to get to the queen sitting there in the back, or if you recall, the way that the demi-humans work, there's a little quirk with them where if you kill their leader, they all surrender. So could just go for the queen instead, which can get a little dicey as they all swarm you. And she can also just wipe them out too, which is funny. Down she goes, and the rest of them should surrender. So there you go. Get the Starline sword from her. And then you can climb up these jagged rocks behind her. And we get a great grave Glovor, and then you can warp back to Cerulean Coast West here. I'll go back towards that withered tree where the cemetery shade was. Jump up here, but stick to the far right, and there's like a little path down here we can take to get into a cave. Drop down, and conveniently you can stay on Torrent in this cave, which I'm a fan of. Very foggy in here right now, but let's go right and up the hill first. These guys, if you haven't learned it already, will explode if you linger next to them for too long. Have that Somber Smithing Stone 4. Keep going a bit. And we should pop out on top of that stone coffin I pointed out earlier. Said we needed to go through a cave to get onto it. There you go. Great Grave Glovort 4. And then you can just backtrack to where we fell down. I think it's kind of funny when they explode, so I needed to see at least one. We fell, we landed right around here, so yeah, just keep going. Should be a room with a lobster up ahead here. And we'll just ignore him because he's hard to kill and doesn't really drop anything exciting, but grab the crab eggs behind him and keep going. You're out on an island across from that withered tree from earlier, so let's wrap around this like hill thing that we just came out of. Climb up it. Find an item which is the perfumed oil of Ranah, which is another reusable item, kind of like the what was the horned baron that we picked up earlier. Yeah, Horned Baron, but this one lets off like a wave of fire in exchange for FP. But anyway, climb down somewhere safer, probably. And then we'll go up over here. And you can enter this small mausoleum to find a boss fog. So this is going to be the Dancer of Ranah. She is not super difficult, but she is, well, can be at least, exceedingly annoying. So she's super easy to stagger, but she's basically going to backstep away from your attacks before you even realize that you were trying to attack. It's just instant. It's insane. I've had some success with the Hand of Millennia Ash of War against NPC fights. So I'm just gonna spec into that here. But yeah, she has really long flowing combos that you would expect from someone called Dancer of Anything that dual wields curved swords. And she can also use that perfumed oil of Ranah that we just picked up to make a wave of fire that hits pretty hard and covers a very wide area. All I can really say about this fight is just be patient, try to keep up aggression as much as your stamina allows, and experiment with different types of attacks, spells, and Ashes of War to figure out what you have that works best for actually landing a hit on her. She can also be parried if you feel comfortable with parrying. But in we go. Seems to be working well so far. It's one heal. Not gonna let her do that. And once she dies, she will drop her armor. And the Dancing Blade of Ranah. So, there you go. And that is all for Cerulean Coast, except for the dungeon down here, which we can't unlock until we break the Greatrune by Shadowkeep. So, a little bit shorter of an episode than usual, but that's alright. And next time will probably also be kind of a short episode. We're going to go start Egon's questline. That's not Egon, that's Egon. That's going to lead us through a little cave system here. We're going to exit that around here, come down this way, and then cover this whole red area you see on the map next time. And then after that, we can get on to Shadow Altus. So I will see you guys next time for that, and the time after that for Shadow Altus. Hopefully you found this episode helpful, and yeah, see you next time. Have a good one.